Putting together my review. Got to make a title card. Let's see. Alien versus Predator Requiem. Okay. There we go. On Earth, everyone can hear you scream. Is that really your tagline? Really? 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 Hello, I'm Victor, and this is The Junkyard. A while back, I did my review of Alien vs. Predator, and perhaps only because I accidentally released it a day after the video game came out, it was pretty well received, with a few people even asking if I would do the sequel, Alien vs. Predator Alien vs. Predator 2, to which I say yes. Oh, what, now? Fine.
Let's start with a recap of the last film. The Predators went hunting, screwed up, and died. One got face-hugged and then chest-bursted. It should be noted that this first film was criticized for being too tame, the language and gore kept to a minimum to keep the rating a lucratively safe PG-13. It was also downright despised for having no respect for any established continuity or sense within the franchise. Hopefully the makers of Requiem have taken these issues into account and made a more substantial and respectful film.
Oh, and in the last film, the plot was driven by the stupidity and ineptness of the Predators, and so I gave them a sort of redneck theme during my review. I'm pretty sure the sequel will have fixed these mistakes, so, yeah, I won't be doing that anymore. Anyway, on to the review.
It starts with the Predalien being born on a spaceship. Within a few minutes it's full grown and it attacks one of the Predators. Another Predator sees this and starts firing wildly, blowing a hole in his own ship. Well, the ship falls right back down to Earth where it just gets wrecked. Clyde, seeing that some of the critters were escaping, decides to blow that ship up real good, but he's stopped short by the Predalien. Next we see a hunter and his son checking out the crashed ship. Despite seeing no immediate threats, they start running for their lives. Their precognition doesn't save them, however, as they are both soon face-hugged. It then cuts to the Predator home planet, where Cletus learns of his brother-cousin's fatal hunting trip. This finally looks like a chance for the audience to see how things work on the Predator's homestead. But no, Cletus gets his gear and then heads off to Earth, and we never see this place again.
I forgot to mention earlier that one of the other big complaints people had about Alien vs. Predator is that it focused too much on the people and not enough on the title extraterrestrials. For those of you who did complain, please bash your head against something blunt until you see pink or red. This may seem harsh, but 1, you deserve to be punished. 2, you're gonna need this brain damage.
Generic Hero comes home after a long time away and meets up with Cop. They talk about their troubled pasts, then Generic asks about his brother. Cut to Teen Hero, Generic's younger sibling. He's working at the pizza place where life sucks. He delivers a pizza to some other teens, who beat him up for basically no reason and toss away his car keys. Then cut to other Cop hassling bums in the sewer where he finds a human arm. Cut again to Cop, who finds the Hunter's car. Cut back to Hunter and son, whose aliens burst out of their chests.
Child dying horribly, thank you, movie. I needed something cheerful after your parade of depressing suburban life.
Well, back to it. Female lead comes back from the army, but her daughter is acting distant towards her. Cut to the Hero home where Generic and Teen talk things out. Then cut to all the bums getting face-hugged. We'll get back to all that, but meanwhile, Cletus has arrived on Earth and even managed to make a water landing without crashing. Mary Sue always did say he was the smart one. For dramatic effect, he turns his cloak on underwater so it makes those cool sparkles when he steps out. Anyway, he goes to the crashed ship where he finds out just what he's hunting, and then blows that ship to hell.
Sadly, this 5-minute, slowly paced, badly lit scene of Cletus going through his dead cousin's stuff is probably one of the more interesting in the film.
Then back to female lead, who has more interactions with her family. Then Generic and Teen go to retrieve Teen's keys. To be fair, they're crawling around a dark sewer filled with aliens, so there's some tension, but of course nothing happens because they're protagonists, and it's too early in the film for a confrontation. Above ground, Cop is sending out a half-hearted search party to find Hunter and Son. Meanwhile, Cletus has found Hunter and Son's bodies and starts pouring some weird blue stuff on them that dissolves them entirely. Unfortunately, since he forgot to turn his cloak on and he breathes louder than a bulldog in heat, other Cop spots and sneaks up on him. Only after the feller's radio goes off does Cletus realize he's there, but at least he wastes no time gutting the boy. Later, Cop goes out looking for other Cop and finds his skinless corpse strung up in a tree.
What? You know, this redneck joke might have backfired. In the last film, I was insulting predators by comparing them to rednecks. Here, I'm insulting rednecks by comparing them to predators. I mean, assuming this was a cover-up? Why would you do that? Why would you leave the most conspicuous possible corpse? It's not like it's a trophy. You didn't even draw a weapon. Obviously, this is something that the director knew predators do, so he put it in the film. How much you want to guess this is going to be a theme?
And oh good, more of generic teen talking with generic blonde. But finally, 40 minutes in, we get into some action. Cletus tracks the critter to a sewer, lays down some traps, and starts a-shootin'. It was too dark to see what the holy hell was going on, since the filmmakers decided to compensate for AVP's lack of atmosphere by filming this movie entirely in the darkness, but I think Cletus got 2 aliens before getting knocked on his ass by the predalien. Either way, the critters decide to hightail it to the surface, with Cletus following close behind. We then go to the diner, where other cop's wife gets attacked by the predalien.
You know, the film has already had 2 scenes where the alien lunges at a woman's face right before the scene changes. They've already shown a kid getting his chest burst open by an alien, so I don't think they're too classy to show a woman getting killed. Why does this leave me with a foreboding feeling?
Cletus tracks one of the aliens to a power plant where he manages to hit everything but the creature, knocking out a good chunk of the city's power. And back to teen angst. To make an annoying story short, Teen and Blonde are accompanied by a few disposable characters just in time to be attacked by an alien. They scamper, only losing a few in the process. Meanwhile, female lead's daughter spots an alien, and we get the cliched "there's no such thing as monsters at a monster" scene with the father. Female and daughter scamper. Well, the next several scenes have the human leads running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and Cletus slowly stalking around, still trying to do a cover-up, even as the entire town is under assault.
Hey idiot! Containment first, cover-up second. Or maybe that's just how us primitive humans do it.
And again, because it's what predators do, Cletus shoots some random guy in plain view of others because he was carrying a weapon.
It's what predators do when they hunt, you morons. It's not an instinct.